Sarah again, and I will have a short interview with Anya, who is an expert practitioner with female ejaculation. How did it start with you, Anya? How did you know about that female ejaculation was possible?
I think I just came to hear about it. Obviously, being a woman, you have a curiosity about the feminine mysteries, and I had been awoken to Taoist work a long time ago, so I already was working with jade eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And
what is that particular jade egg? For people who don't know what it is.
A jade egg, it's like it literally is a jade egg that goes up inside the yoni, and it helps develop consciousness inside the yoni, and it can open up all the points inside the yoni in the womb. And it's also it comes from the whole Taoist dynasty, really. So it's a very ancient practice for women, and it can develop their muscles tremendously and give incredible longevity and health to a woman's vagina.
Really?
And
how do you work with the yoni egg? What do you do exactly?
There are different exercises you can do with the yoni egg. I mean, once you get really proficient at it, you can actually have 2 eggs going in there, and you can be moving from the top to the bottom, and they can be crossing over and all sorts.
It sounds like a juggler with your...
Yeah, so there's a whole sort of science to it, and it's a lot of work, believe you me, it really...
And do you really exercise this daily or weekly? Or?
Well, you can do it daily for sure, but it's quite a workout. It really does feel like you're having a baby, actually, just trying to push that egg out at first. So it's a very deep practice, and I recommend it.
Very solid. And when you were using the egg, did you have experiences with female ejaculation, or what happened?
No, I haven't actually ejaculated through using the egg, if I'm honest with you. I mean, my experience of ejaculation has come in several different ways. It's mainly come through most powerfully when I've had a facilitator. So I've experienced female ejaculation through facilitation through a Polynesian technique called the buzz, which is using a very strong, powerful buzz on the yoni, and then I've also had the more traditional yoni massage. So I've got to really sense very deeply, in a very physical way, female, what it feels like for me to ejaculate. Previously to that, whether I was actually experiencing ejaculation through sexual intimacy, there's a big question mark for me. Because I think sometimes women are actually, during lovemaking, they are actually ejaculating, but they don't know it.
Really?
Because it's all about perception, like you might, and being very subtly connected to what's going on in there. So in actual fact, women may come and say, oh, I've never ejaculated in my life, but they may actually be ejaculating through sex, but might not know.
And of course, as I heard, it comes in different amounts. Some women really squirt through the room, and others just, it's like a wave. It comes differently for different women. Is it true? Or
I think it does come differently. I mean, for me, it just feels like the water works. Like, if I am an ejaculating woman, then I know that my water works, or that my system is working well. And I think that my experience is that there can be really, a lot of gushing. I mean, almost pints coming through, and it can be very watery and very clear, and so there can be a lot of, a lot of fluids there for sure, and I think there's also a lot of information and research about different types of like secretions and the actual consistency and nature of those as well.
What did it bring to you? I mean, when you consciously started to ejaculate, what did it bring to you? Was it an emotional release? Was it something giving you an empowerment as a woman?
Well, I think that it's really empowering for a start. I mean, it takes quite a lot to say, I don't think I am a female ejaculator, and I really want to actually become one. So I think it's quite a big thing to actually get to the point where you're going to make the decision.
Is that because it's taboo, or why? Why is it? big point to start with?
I think it's just that you feel that something's not right if you're not ejaculating, because it is actually natural. So, so could you go back to the original question?
What it brought to you as a person? Was it giving you emotional release or empowerment?
I think the thing is that I went with the intention of offering it up to creation, offering it up to God, offering it up to the divine consciousness. So I already set that in place. So for me, it was already it was in the context of healing. And when I ejaculate, there can be a lot of emotional release. I mean, often I'll just burst into tears, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and have a lot of emotional release. And sometimes it doesn't last for very long. Sometimes it can just be literally like just gushing tears, or I might get some feelings from the past, let's say. So it's very, very deep emotional release, very much so, yes. And also extremely empowering. I mean, often when I have these ejaculation sessions, I remember the first time I was with Mal, I said, "Oh, please, wipe it all over me, all over my breasts and my heart." I wanted to be empowered, absolutely. I wanted this consciousness, this juice, this beautiful fluid, I wanted it all over me. And so it's like being christened with my birthright. That's how deep I feel it is.
Well, that's wonderful. It's kind of ritual.
It's kind of like a ritual, very much so. And because I think it holds a lot of information as well, all the fluids and
smells. Yeah. Do you really want a lover to make you ejaculate, or is that not a big point for you? If you do have a lover, should he be able to make you ejaculate, or?
Well, I think really it's about being able to realize, understand, and meet that power within yourself. I don't really think I wouldn't be relying on a man for ejaculation. I think it's actually much more of a learning curve and much more important that I develop, self-ejaculation myself. That's probably where I need to go next with it. And then I think when I know what that's like, and I actually have, worked with the perceiving and the subtlety and the opening within myself, then I think that'll open up great gateways in terms of the potential of lovers and things like that.
And what do you think about the porn industry? Because they have run away with this subject, and squirting is hot. How women are exposed there as ejaculators?
Well, funnily enough, I've never watched a lot of porn. I just haven't really done it. And when I have watched pornography, it's gone right inside me quite deeply, and I've just been thinking about, I've had just sexual porn images the next day, and I haven't been able to concentrate on my work.
Really?
So I think that it affects people very quickly on an unconscious level. I think porn I think if you've got a blocked muladhara, then I think porn can be very, very good to just get that muladhara open. But I think that it can be dangerous in some ways, because I think it can. Well, first of all, it's a totally hedonistic approach, and that's not the way I see the primary energy should be used. Because it could catapult you into enlightenment if you use it the right way, like that. But of course, with the porn industry, it's all about sort of it just has a hedonistic approach. It's like that energy's not being channeled the right way, and it's not being offered up to the divine. It's just being offered up to the porn industry. And
it's commercialised, is it? Yeah.
It's commercialised, and I don't know. I wouldn't want to watch too much porn, actually. I mean, like I said, I don't really watch a lot of porn. I'm open to it, but I also just notice some of my responses to it.
What about this primal energy? What should women look for to contact that primal energy? What is it?
Well, I think it's about connecting with the energy of the earth, Shakti, Gaia, the fact that we're in the female body, therefore we are energy, whereas the male is more like the void. The principles are different, I think, for the male and the female. So I think that women are really disconnected from their primal power, and once they get back to that, I think that, you know, we can see heaven on earth if it's used in the right way for the good of all. Certainly, I think, you know, the fertility energy of a woman, that's a lost art, and I think that there is incredible potential for women to be serving God, serving humanity, serving everyone through knowing their vast, powerful energy and use it in the right way. And I think that being able to ejaculate is a way to get in contact with that, but offering it up for the highest good. Yeah.
Wonderful. So it's a divine device for women.
It's divine, yeah. It's and I think also just on a physiological level, it gets you in contact. I think a lot of women can have, let's say, orgasms from the
Clitoris.
Yeah, the clitoris, and that's a very electrical kind of orgasm that's very much quick, and you know, it's like an electrical fuse, and it's more on the outside, but there's the depth, you see. So once you start getting in contact with the G-spot ejaculation, you feel that you're moving more into the core of your sexuality and your being. And that's also a great thing, I think, that doing this work can do. It can get you connected more deeply within, so you feel like the core of yourself is being touched, sort of thing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For sharing your thoughts and feelings.
Thank you very much.
Hello.